our gas prices are continuing to go up. We thought that many of the specific things that we were discussing would go down. Now, when we first started this story about 3 weeks ago, we wanted to track and see how long it would take for the prices to either go up or come down back to where they were. Here's a comparison. The week of 318, the national average for many of us was no higher than $4. Now, if you were in California, that's where it peaked for a few days, where the prices did jump over $6 in some areas. And there were even reports that some people had uh, gas prices in California of over $8 per gallon when this whole war started and broke out. And again, me and my colleague Gary Taylor worked with each other on this story, and we began working on this on March the 19th. And as we're looking at this, the prices here in Texas alone, we really felt the effects here. I noticed that over a span of 7 to 14 days, our gas prices jumped 90 cents per gallon. And there were many reports within the area that a lot of people were spending a lot more money on their gas and could not afford going to many places. Now, you take the war going, the battle for the Strait of Hormuz, and then on top of that, you add on the very high gas prices. It's just a whole disaster for many Americans. And then we had the partial government shutdown ongoing with TSA workers calling out because they weren't being paid. And if you don't have American citizens being paid, and then you also have the conflict ongoing right now in the Middle East, that is leading to these very high gas prices. Now, again, AAA is a great source, and we're going to link that in our description here, where you can go and check and see the gas prices in the current average. So I do want to let you know that I will say at the beginning of March here in Texas, the gas prices were about $2.20. I'd say, well, maybe we should narrow it down a little bit and say the end of February. The gas prices were about $2.20. So as we moved to about 319, the average in Texas was about $3.60 a gas. So again, that is a 90-cent increase in gas prices, and it does affect a lot of people at the pump. Now, across Texas, and you can see here on the map that mainly if you were in Southeast Texas, like the Houston area, you had lower gas because, again, we have many oil refineries down in the Houston area, whether it's in Texas City or right there in Galveston or in Houston proper. There are many refineries. But I do want to factor in that at the end of March, the Valero plant did explode. So the prices did start to go up in the Southeast Texas area following the Valero plant's explosion at the end of March. So it's a lot of things with this story, and that's why we've been working on this one for a long while, because this is a lot of stuff that we've been tracking with this story. Now, I would say if the explosion didn't happen, it would be likely that Southeast Texas would continue with the lowest prices. And that's just my opinion. Now, as of today, the national average has came up again, and this is, again, we're recording this on 4/8/2026. The national average, believe it or not, is now over $4. It's $4.16 on average. Now, the average in Texas has also came up. It's $3 and almost $4 for to be honest with you. Let me just talk about some of the larger counties here in Texas, and we'll use our AAA map. You can see Tarrant County, $3, at least $3.80. Dallas County is almost $4, and these are averages, okay, that we're looking at, and we're just going to look at the larger counties in the state. Denton County, about $3.80. Collin County, about $3.80. And we'll go down here to look at Harris County, whose gas has come way up to about also $3.80, almost $4 there. And this area actually had the cheapest. Now, you look even further, there's Travis. I wanted to look at Travis and Williamson counties, where they're just basically $4 a gallon for those areas on average. And then you go further down, you can see pretty much most of the state is now averaging about $4 a gallon. And it's the highest as you go into the desert parts of the state. And those areas have gas almost $4.50 a gallon. I'd say out towards El Paso and out towards the Fort Smith and Fort Stockton areas. Those areas way, 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 way to the west have some very high gas prices. Now, again, diesel is almost $6 in some parts of the state as well, so you have to be careful with that. And I know we've really been working on this for a long time, and I just want to let you know that our highest recorded average ever, and we're going to probably get really close until this conflict ends. We're going to get very close to breaking the record during the pandemic, which was on June the 15th of 2022, and that record was $4.69 a gallon. So basically $4.70, with the highest diesel. Believe it or not, today, as of recording this, we have broken the average for the highest diesel. So we just set a new record here on 4/8/2026, with the highest diesel now being $5.34 a gallon. So that is a lot. And of course, you can use the AAA and you can go and see what your highest averages are. And I will let you know the highest averages are on the West Coast, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, all averaging $5 to $6 a gallon. Other parts of the state that are, excuse me, I should say the lower 48, other parts, the lowest it looks like we're finding on this map is currently in the Plains states, with Oklahoma and Kansas being the lowest on average right now, which is very, very interesting, with many of the other states being well above normal, and even Florida, where the average there is over $4. And then also the Northeast, where your averages are also over $4 a gallon. That includes Maine, New York, Vermont, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland. So very high prices, guys. And I do unfortunately think it's very possible that they could go up. They could really go up. And we don't really want that really across most of the area. Will they release more of the oil? Because the U.S. has our own reserves, and we could offset many of these prices, but due to the conflict, are these prices going to continue to go up? That remains to be seen. So I'm going to stop it right here. We're going to let Gary show, or excuse me, we're going to have Gary's pieces added at this part. But again, guys, there's only so much we could do related to the gas prices. And if you're across the state of Texas, I want you all to hang in there, and we will get through this together.
Fuel prices are going up. This is the Circle K store that I work at. As you can see, our prices are on the rise. What do other people have to say about that? Right across from the Circle K, we also have a Shell station. So we have some fuel wars going on. Hopefully real soon, people are expecting the prices to decrease. However, with the summer travel approaching, it's hard to tell. For Star News, I'm Gary Taylor reporting.